So today we're going to record a video about the current world record in Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup turn count. It is 15 rune turn count played by me, and today I'm joined by Sentei, who held 3 runes turn count world record at some point, and by
Hi.
Flugkiller.
Hi.
Flug also held real-time world record, if I remember correctly, right?
Yes. For a week.
So both of these players are pretty competent in the game, so I think we can just start and try to explain things.
Okay. So, yeah, the replay is going. So, let's start with some questions.
You can also, first of all, advertise your replay.
Sure. So, yeah, this is being recorded on the DCSS replay Windows version. And this is a TTRX tiles replay engine, which, takes the TTRX and tries to represent them as best as possible using tiles with some custom rules. So, there's been a few upgrades since the last time it was shown off, and I dare to say at this point it shows things pretty well, reasonably, in most situations. And there's no more orbs of fire for the targeter, so at least that's nice. We'll see things going smoothly.
Well, there are still flaws, but I think it is quite nice looking right now. And we will try to explain if something weird is showing on the screen. So, for example, Sandblast is showing as a rock wall.
Yeah, and for example, exclusions will also be shown as blood because they're both red in TTRX. But okay, so let's start with some early game exploration. How essentially it's a suicide the dash, trying to find anything that's possible on the way down. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. So I killed more than 1,000 of meteorans to get this run. So it's worth noting that I already got Chei, which is one of the gods I look for. Also, I've just got the nice book, and it is pretty early stage to get both book and the god, especially the book, because god at some point you will find anyways. And this book is kind of one of my favorite ones, I would say. It contains dragon form and irradiate, which carries your S branches.
Yeah, as we can see further in the run, this was a really big benefit when coming to clearing things. It was really quite fast. Since you can get, well, especially if you can go with Chei, since that gives the stats for the damage as well.
So, given that you have this book now, what are your goals for your character before you get to, say, Lair?
Probably just get the dragon form online. Just be able to cast it. It is pretty strong. Even if you have a 0 unarmed combat, it is just insanely good. You will have 38, if I remember correctly, damage just from the start. So once you cast it, you can pretty much kill the yak packs and all the other stuff. You also get a lot of auxes. You get HP bonus, fire breath, which is insanely good for the early game. It's quite a nice boost. So I actually don't remember this moment. It seems like I overestimated myself and I teleported away from the wrath.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, in the beginning of the ossuary, were you already aware that there was going to be a wraith in the end?
I'm not sure. Probably not. Because at this point I'm not that cared about the run to check anything, and I didn't recall it from the experience. Yeah, but somehow I got lucky and I just killed it. Well, it's
and what about
unreasonable thing to kill the rest at this point, but it's not something you can do consistently.
Yeah, and what about entering the ossuary itself? Do you usually enter them or skip them when you were trying these attempts?
No, it depends. First of all, it depends on if you already have your gut or not. Also, the type of the ossuary. For example, there is this one which is kind of like a spiral labyrinth with
Yeah.
alarm traps.
And lots of doors?
Sorry, lots of what?
Lots of doors in that labyrinth.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that one's
So
super
that one I
slow.
would leave for sure.
Well, yeah, and did you get any like but in ossuary you usually just get some scrolls and potions. At this point, from what I've seen from Safer's attempts to break this record, he's been skipping more and more items. Yeah, so
Yeah, it's actually also an interesting question because I am more conservative in these terms, because you can see I also pick up gold sometimes, which as far as I remember, even you skipped.
yeah.
I'm not sure
Yeah,
which play is correct, because it will cost you some turns, maybe like 100, which might be relevant, might be not, because you will be dead. So I don't have a strong opinion.
yeah, well, probably half or more of the consumables that you can get are not useful in clearing the early lair and slime. So
Yeah.
you can't. You just wanna luck into having those few on the path, but yeah, like getting a few more obviously can hurt, except in terms of turns.
Well, also it is pretty good when you roll something nice like acquirement or how does it called, experience potion. It also kind of boosts your character in terms of you. Sometimes you just before resetting your character, you just read all unknown potion, read all unknown scrolls, drink all unknown potions, and you hope to get lucky. And for example, if you have let's say, I think ideal scenario for the speedrun is like a good book and maybe 2 experience potions, and then you can just steamroll the game. Well, you still also need a lot of luck in the navigation. You need to find stuff quickly. It can also ruin your run, but it is pretty nice to get a boost uh, from the potion of experience or acquirement scroll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and let's talk a bit about your training, since you get Dragon Form up really fast. Yeah, I didn't expect you to cast it in dungeon, but that happened. So you're training only transmutations at this point.
I didn't notice. You can, if you pause next time my screen, or if you remember what I'm training right now. But I probably just usually train Earth Magic to 6, Conjurations to like 3, to have my Stone Arrow kind of castable, and then I just go all in for the Dragon Form. Or if I had Statue Form, I would go for it instead. Let's say for Storm Form, you cannot expect to cast it in the dungeon, unless something really lucky happens. But
Yeah,
for
you
statue
would have
form,
to get experience potions then.
yeah, pretty much, or like wizardry rings. I think I had it castable at like layer 2, but I died immediately.
So when you decide going to the next floor, do you have some specific metric you're using, or is it just by feeling?
Well, here I will just explore a little bit, because at this floor I can find the lair, and I will happily take the stair if I see one. And when I'm at what is the highest level of lair? D11, right? So when I'm at D11, I will stop taking just lucky stairs. Well, I still can take it for to find some portals, but I'll probably try to stick at around D8, D11. And the same for the previous part where you have to find the temple.
Yeah,
Right.
so we just I just looked at, and instantly this is the why I didn't expect you to cast so fast. But yeah, you've been training the transmutations to up to 12 and now to 14. So that's I guess enough to cast Dragon Form at a reasonable failure rate. And yeah, there was also the fight before with a bunch of whites that you barely lived through due to the help of wands. So that would, in most runs, that likely would have been just the ending, since you don't have good ones. Yeah, now you can actually use the dragon form to carry yourself through Lair and the branches.
So 5s are the slaves.
Lemurs.
Yeah.
When are you going to start training unarmed combat? Is that after dragon form is at a good failure rate, or do you skip that too?
I actually don't remember this run because it was 3 months ago, but I guess I would start training it around this time. Seems reasonable to me. Unless I have some other magic, which I probably don't.
Well, Irradiate is some pretty good magic.
Yeah, but I think it is already on.
Yeah, we can check out the training now. Yeah, so no unarmed combat, going to train spellcasting. Yeah, and a bit more conjurations for the Irradiate, probably.
Yeah. Because Irradiate is also quite good. Yeah, so you saw I started to train unarmed combat.
Yeah.
What is also nice with Chei is that even in dragon form you get a lot of evasion from dodging.
Yeah, the plus 15 stat boost is really nice.
Yeah, and I'm already at 4 stars, which is pretty good. Because I hope for, let's say, Spider Nest and Slouch really carries there.
Yeah, and I guess I didn't really think about the flame breath as well from using the dragon form. My attempts have mostly been with Kiku and going for necromancy instead of trying the forms. So this is a pretty a reasonable speed. Of course, Kiku is faster in Lair, but you don't lose too much time with Chei.
No, I think early game is exactly the point where you lose a lot. So, for example, at this, actually, I don't know the turn count at this point. It's probably like 1,000 turns.
Yeah, 1250 is when you enter Lair, and you're now actually ahead of Sapphire, both his Kiku and Chei run.
Yeah, but he had the elemental stuff and the stuff of head of pondering, which is why I guess he continued the run. Otherwise, he would have just resetted.
Yeah, I mean, he catches up to you, and then, of course.
Yeah, you pick up the first rune. Your case being the one of the S branches, and for Safer he went to Slime, and then after that he pulls forward until after Depths Zig. Well, no, actually, so that's one interesting part about this run is that you only actually catch up to him on the way to get to run to the exit with the orb.
Yeah. I'm not even sure if I picked up the Orbrun Zot earlier. So here is pretty good space for the Fire Cloud. Yeah.
You also stepped in the alarm trap earlier to get Mark, just so that you could
just to
get
more
all the
experience.
enemies here faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at this point, there are no expectations of this run yet, since no runes. Just going as fast as possible, trying to find the entrance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at
and I
this
guess
point I have 5 stars with Chei, so I will be happy to enter the branch already. But I probably didn't find it yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's also possible to have like 1 or 2 stars and still enter it as long as you have the dragon form and hope for anything to happen. But usually it results in death, like most of the other runs. I mean, yeah, not having to cast spells is pretty comfortable since you don't have to focus on training them. You can focus on other things.
Well, but on the other hand, it will be a kind of slow way to kill monsters without AoEs. Also, compared to Kiku, you just walk and everything dies.
Yep.
So I would generally prefer something like, I don't know, Freezing Cloud, Summon Forest, or All Grapes at this point. And it will be quite fast. Also Necromancy as well, because with Chei it is also pretty good. You set up your death channel, you enter the spider nest, and you just cast 1 slouch, and it is the same as Unearthly Wretches.
Yeah, and here we go with the first branch, which is spider, and you said you wanted spider, so that's good, right?
Yeah. Because they also die in 1 hit, basically. Well, you still have to don't miss.
Yeah, and if they surround you, you still have the irradiate, which shows up
very
as
nice.
And it's also something you can use your MP for, other than slouch and temporal distortion or whatever it's called.
So Agnes is pretty dangerous actually at this point.
But Irradiate is pretty good against Agnes.
Yeah, but I think if I died here in this amount of turns I spent next to her, it would be pretty reasonable. So here I could also probably just skip these potions, I guess. Because the stuff I look for right now is, I think, books already. And the equipment. So here I guess I don't have the curing potion.
Yeah, well, would you even use it? Like, it's not a particularly dangerous situation. You can just wait.
It is reasonably dangerous because they can chain confuse you. I remember losing 1 of my turn counts in way back when I was doing dwarf to a single Tarantella because I didn't have a curing potion. I also remember that this curing potion will be very important later in the game. You will see where.
Okay.
I think you might even remember this moment because you joined me when I was playing it real time.
Yeah, we were discussing some things at some points during this run as well.
So here I'm just looking for the vault, which I guess is to the left.
Yeah, at least one thing in spiders that vaults are usually very easy to identify.
Yes, sometimes, but sometimes it is very shitty when it is. I don't even know how to
butterfly
describe
scroll?
Yeah.
Sorry. Was that read identified, or was that just something that you already knew?
No, I think it was just read ID.
Yeah, and this was a pretty dangerous situation. Got down to 50 health, no mana, due to the very, very annoying ghost moths.
Oh, there was a ghost moth, okay. I didn't pay attention.
That's what happened when you read the
Yeah,
butterflies
so
roll.
seems reasonable. Oh, it's also an undead vault.
Yeah, with the death scarabs at the end.
Yeah, it is kind of nice because you just open the door, you make one slouch, and that's it. It's also a bit of a labyrinth here, which is a bit annoying. But I think it's fine. The most annoying thing is, of course, the ghost mouse. Because you
Yep,
cannot...
There are
yep.
several of them in this vault, yes. Like here, I think.
I'm
Should be
a
one.
bit okay with them because of the dragon form. It would be worse if I had to rely on spells, but they are still pretty annoying. Because sometimes you feel so helpless when your dragon form runs out and you are in the middle of the fight with 0 mana, and you just have to decide if you should waste your magic potion at this point.
Yeah, I've lost a few 15 rune attempts as well due to the ghost mobs. That's one of the annoying parts of Spider.
When you radiate, actually, do you keep track of how much contam you have? In the sense that, like, are you still going to be as careful as you would be in a normal game, or do you sometimes take more risks when it comes to the contam level?
No, I'm trying to not take any risk because it can be just the one miscast that will just doom your run.
Right.
So only I use it only in case I'm desperate to survive. I mean, when I'm yellow contempt or white.
Yeah, and so we got that rune at 2059 turns, which is quite fast, even compared to the previous world record.
Yeah, but I
Which
would
was...
say this is slow compared to what you can expect in average run with Kiko. It is kind of okay with the Chei standards, but not that great for the Kiko standards, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, and just to compare for the next rune, it takes, say, for 200 turns, and it takes you 600 turns to get it. So yeah, that's the power of Kiku with one rune.
Yeah. I think you can grab the rune at like 1500 turns or even 13 with Kiko if you get lucky. The fastest I got with Chei was like 1700, which was also dragon form and dive into the spiders. But I'm okay with this pace so far. This is not something reset worthy. This is something you can work with.
Yeah, well, I mean, not many runs actually get to a rune, so you do tend to play these out. Like this would be like 1 in 100 or maybe 1 in 200 runs that you would even be able to touch a rune if you're really trying. So yeah, like a rare chance to actually play the game more.
Yeah, true. So here I'm probably looking for the water branch, which probably I already had an idea where it is because it seems like I just went here knowing what is going on. So here it is an important part because I noticed the book of the Earth, which has a statue form. Okay, so here it's a new recording.
Yeah, so yeah, like that's very good information. That Book of the Earths in there, so that gives you statue form and also LRD, right?
Well, LRD is not that important, but statue form I would really like to get. And the problem is I don't know how to get it yet. So here what I decided to do is to go to the next floor, grab the rune, and on my way back, since it is close to the exit, I will think about it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, right now I'm checking desperately if I have anything to clear this, because I would happily waste any of my consumable to get this book.
Would you be trying to train for it already before getting it, because you know that it exists now? Or what's the fail rate on statue form? Is it castable already?
I think it would be almost castable at this point. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I
would get
already trained the Earth and I already trained transmutation, so I have a 37 int.
Ah, yeah, I forgot you actually have some earth magic. Yes.
yeah, it would possibly be like 50% failure rate or something like that, but that's easy to get more. Yeah, and also one more benefit of dragon form would be that you can fire breath and get also steam damage. And also, but so yeah, going for statue form, how much better is statue form in the following turn? In the following game, in the other parts of the game compared to dragon form.
I would say dragon form is strictly better at like Lair, but when entering branches, it is already they are competitive. It depends on the situation. For example, you remember in the slime pit, I didn't know which one to use
Mm-hmm.
because it is very annoying with Chei that you take one step and you are basically dead.
Yeah, I think we'll see a bit of that.
We also skipped the part where I almost died. I had like 20 HP.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
here,
here's the
what is very dangerous for me are the Norfolk Impalers with freezing weapons, actually, because I don't have the resistance yet. I mean, I have vulnerability from the dragon form, and I don't have any compensation, and they still hurt with a. I mean, my defenses are reasonable, but they still hurt.
yeah, and you got down to like 50 HP. So if you didn't have a form, or maybe even with statue form, that could almost be a death, because yeah, the dragon form gives and it gives a lot of HP, and also the javelineers all are always dangerous.
Yeah. Bill, but here I remember you will see the frost giant, which is like extremely dangerous with a dragon form. Yeah, so he basically can one-shot me at any point if he's in range. I don't even remember how I dealt with him.
Step from time.
Yeah, it sounds reasonable. Was it step from time or temporal distortion?
It happened. Well, yeah, we can quickly go back. Let's see.
I think it was step, because otherwise temporal distortion would just have brought it closer to you, right?
No, sometimes they leave the laws.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's see. Yeah. Return to normal time flow. So yeah, that's step from time.
You will see me later in this game using the temporal distortion to get rid of the enemy loss. But
yeah, so this was also
miserably.
a quite so this was also a quite easily a possible death, and this would be one more run down the drain. So yeah, good that you managed to survive.
Well, I just got lucky, but you have to get lucky in these runs.
Definitely.
Because with Chei you are not yet stable at this point.
How's it with Kiku then? Would you say that like in the first runes you're sort of stable because Kiku just does everything for you?
Not exactly, but there's just one dangerous point basically when you take the stair. once you get your army going, you are completely fine.
Yeah. So you mean that like with Chei, no point at any floor are you like given a floor you're not safe. But with Kiku, at least when you have your army, you know that you can just do whatever.
Well, yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, there are still monsters that can clear your minion army, but I'd say with Kiku it is more stable. So is it a real lava or is it something else?
No, you place an exclusion that turns tiles red.
Right.
Yeah. I put an exclusion to remember that Frost Giant went from there, and it is kind of an indicator for me to search there and if there is a room.
Because but you see another one right here.
And that's the rune then.
Yeah, so now I'm doing the degenerate stuff. It's kind of like a bread swinging.
Yeah, well, throw 3 items, spend 4.5 turns. That's a good thing.
But as you can see, I was not lucky and the rune was not there. So now I suspect that the rune is to the left because of that first Frost Giant.
Yeah, and I'll be right back, but you can keep talking and watching.
Yeah. So it's actually pretty rare that you see the Frost Giant but no rune.
Yeah, I can't say I've noticed it very many times in my normal runs, but I mean, at this point, are you already thinking about how to deal with slime? Because that's coming up next, right? So,
and basically, I mean, generally have no idea what I'm going to do there.
Yeah, because you still don't have any other spells than just irradiate and deform spells.
Yeah.
Even with the Book of the Earth, you don't exactly get much more than just another form.
Yeah, and actually during this run, around at this point, we were testing with a Sentei how I can defeat the Royal Jelly. And so on his server, we tested in Wiz mode how many slouches do I need to exactly kill it. And we found out that in statue form, you basically use all your mana and you kill the Royal Jelly. So it was kind of my plan.
Right, I see. Because it's not like you have many other consumables you can use to kill the Royal Jelly at this point.
Yeah, I cannot even haste. I mean, I might, but it won't help much.
Yeah, so yeah, regarding the slouches, I was actually imagining that it would take less slouches than we found out by experimenting. I thought that you could get it done in like, I don't know, up to 6, but you needed 8 or 9 slouches to actually kill it because, well, it has a lot of HP and you become faster as you slouch. Yeah, so actually the mana becomes the limiting factor instead of actually piety. Yeah, since you have quite a bit. Yeah, we also did some calculations on how much piety actually was supposed to have if you had enough for the slouches. But yeah, mana was the limit.
It doesn't have the exact same HP every time, right? Because like any other monster, it should have variable HP. It's a range.
Yeah, that's right.
Your own HP is also a problem because you get swarmed by the summons. And I think we came up to conclusion that statue form would be better for the final fight.
Yeah, well, for the summons, the strategy is teleport away and hope for the best. Yeah, if the Royal Jelly is dead, that's all you need, pretty much. You can usually figure things out after that.
Yeah, but I remember one of my runs died after I killed the Royal Jelly. Like, I think I got one shot from the Ether Jelly. It was not exactly one shot, but pretty close, because I was also corroded, and I just literally took one step, or maybe even just waited.
Yeah, that was corroded to 0 AC, and yeah, the Azure Jelly has 4 hits, and yeah, that was pretty bad.
So yeah, even if you kill the Royal Jelly, it's still a pretty dangerous place. And with Kiku, it is kind of a different story because slime simulacras, they basically destroy normal slimes. Okay, so now it is the part where I will try to get the statue form. So here is the vault. And this is the moment that I was talking earlier where I was need my curing potion. Because this guy in the center, he has like 22% chance to confuse me. So yeah, I'm checking my consumables again, making sure that I have some.
We can roll it back a bit.
Yeah, we can check the exact chances.
Yeah, 33%.
And I remember that once I took this portal, I got confused immediately. And there was also a Merfolk with a freezing polearm, the Impaler.
Yeah, Demon Triton freezing on the one at the top. So yeah, a pretty dangerous world.
Yeah, you see, I am confused. And also here I learned that when you try to LRD the statue, it is 2 tiles wide because it is a crystal.
Oh, because it's crystal, right? So that's
yeah.
But I basically has no other choice. Had no other choice. Because I cannot slouch it. If I take a step, it is too dangerous. And I basically have no other magic. Like Stone Arrow won't work on it.
No.
Also, I don't remember where I got the LRD. But I already have it at this point.
Might have picked it up somewhere along the way in Shoals.
I guess you also just train a lot of spell casting in general for the Royal Jelly fight, partially, but also because then it's easier to adapt to spells that you find later because you don't know.
It's pretty general strategy that if you don't have the clear path, like when you don't have high level magic, you just train spellcasting, and at some point you will find something, and you'll at least have some training in that school because spellcasting translates a bit into everything.
Yeah, well,
and you already have a lot of intelligence, so it's even more worthwhile to do it in that sense.
Yeah, well, for me, it's basically just for the spell points. Like you have a bunch of spells you want to cast, and you also regenerate the mana when you walk around. So you just want to have the biggest pool possible so that you can spam the spells and hopefully survive the onslaught of the mobs.
Yeah. So here I don't understand where am I going. Yeah, basically I would say this was a mistake because you should just go straight up to the stair, the downstairs. Maybe there was something that is not displayed.
Maybe forgot that there was a downstairs there or something.
It would be weird, let's say. Maybe there was something that is not displayed in the replay. I hope so, at least. I also probably don't have resist corrosion for the slimes.
Yeah, that's a premium. No, don't usually have that.
But I think I have the repel missiles scarf, which is probably in the inventory. Yeah, here I'm checking what I have, because I understand that going into the slimes is extremely risky.
I guess that would be another argument for statue form, because then you can actually use it and
yeah,
get
and that's
extra
why
protection.
I preferred statue form at the end. So here I was reading, IDing the scrolls because I was hoping for the magic mapping. And at this point, I already don't care about the trash mobs. But here it is, yeah, it is a nice opportunity because I can do massive AoE.
Looks like you're still trying to kill a few. So, well, I guess it's for exploration at this point.
Yeah, but I think it would have been better to just take the stair immediately, because there is a chance you take a stair and you immediately notice the entrance by some. You might just spot the entrance itself by the, how does this mutation called, passive mapping, or just by the something that indicates the entrance.
And the passive mapping, like the mutation that you get from Meteoran.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so now I also think about it. It was not a wise decision to go into this vault.
No, because this is just the end vault, the roulette one.
Yeah. I don't know what did I expect to get here. Maybe maybe I still felt weak about my character, and I just went here for whatever I could find. Oh well, okay. At least I got magic mapping.
Yeah, that was a good find.
But it was lucky.
All planned.
It wasn't worth it. Yeah. Also, at this point, I already really need the Passage of Galabria importation. Good runs should have it at this point.
Yeah, like Slime 5 is pretty much the best place to find it if you don't find it before, and after that you're officially losing turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't quite remember what ended up happening, and I guess it's better to not spoil, but if you don't find any of those things in Slime 5 at this point, would you reset the run?
No, I wouldn't. Because as you will see...
Yeah,
well, it also depends on the turn count. Here I'm not in the great spot, but it's kind of fine. Because, it's also a bit hard psychologically to reset at this point because you're already...
Yeah, I mean, you've already passed a lot of filters to get to this point.
Yeah.
So that would be another 100 runs at least to get to this point again.
Yeah, and here we go with the repulsion scarf and using statue finally.
So now my melee damage will be much worse than dragon form.
What? But you get evasion and more AC instead.
Huh?
And of course, golden eyes instantly, which are very annoying at low levels and low willpower.
Yeah, I wonder what will be the chances now. But I guess, yeah, well, immediately confused. Yeah, 20%, yeah. It's not the end of the world, but...
And they're fast monsters too, so each turn, I mean, not only because you're Chei walking, but each turn they will attempt to do it several times, possibly.
Does it work like that?
Yeah, they can do it with no cooldown.
I thought that it is just like a status, like a toxic radiance. Basically, you just check it each turn.
No, it's a spell.
Okay.
Targeted spell. Wait, I didn't need line of sight, right? Yeah, it's gaze.
So here I just I already knew what scroll is the butterflies, and I just decided to.
Right, because of the read ID in Spider.
Yeah, so here I just thought that this shining eye is so high priority that I need to block the line of sight immediately, which might be a bit of a mistake. Well, I don't know. So the other play would be to use temporal distortion, but I was going to conserve my piety for the royal jelly fight. And here, like, it already looks pretty grim.
Yeah, corroded -12, -16. Yeah, I think we teleport here.
And also I have the dragon form now, so I don't have repel missiles.
Was this because was that intentional, or was that because he wanted to kill it as fast as possible?
Yeah, it was likely for the kill for the eye. And yeah, like I remember discussing the situation, and we were talking about using using piety, fine, or teleporting, and for like step from time or temporal distortions.
Well, here I think you have to cast step from time because like it is extremely dangerous.
Yeah, and this level was still dangerous because those
even walking
they kept appearing.
Yeah, I mean they're not dead yet, so they can just come back.
So now looking back, I think that I should not have even walked. I should just have waited to at least waited for corrosion to wear off.
Yeah, this second acid blob was the one that's really scary. Yeah, you essentially waited to get HP back, but the corrosion didn't go down in time.
I didn't even wait. I just I drank the ambrosia potion, and then I just walked, and I get the meteor and regeneration.
Yeah, and this was the second step from time because that was once again a very bad situation with the two acid blobs this time. Same amount of HP, still corroded, and probably for even longer.
Yeah, I like this logs when you get a non-comment for pretty much constantly, because I'm trying everything and just pressing escape.
And the acid blob is back.
Yeah, it is a bit of a shit show with Chei. You sometimes just one-shot them in dragon form if they come in melee range. Sometimes they just shoot at you and you feel really bad. Here I got lucky because it didn't shoot or miss everything and came close.
Well, that's a nice stare at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be. There's still.
Okay.
Yeah, this stair is where I was probably the closest to death in the whole run. Like probably this exact spot. But it will be a bit later.
Yeah, we get to have some fun in Slime 5 first.
Yeah, so I casted the dragon form to fight with a rock slime. And you saw I left that acid blob.
Yeah.
Which will cost me later. Well, I still, even if I fight it, it would be the same shit show. So here I have a plan. I need to lure the royal jelly and slouch a lot of times. And now let's see if it goes as planned. At least I have 6 stars of piety. So here I probably shouted.
No, I think I suggested LRD.
Instead of shouting, because I generally like to use
noise range.
Sorry.
You get more effective noise range because the noise is at the location of the explosion.
Because I generally like to use an ice blast here, but I didn't have it.
Right, and I guess Slouch is better MP usage than LRD, even if it's directly onto the Royal Jelly at this point.
I think there's some LRDing does happen here because it's this kind of a location.
So it seemed like I decided to just fight with fists. Which is not a great idea, to be honest. So Royal Jelly is still full, right? Because I didn't waste anything.
You can see some HP indicator on the monster list. It's fully green, so that's healthy.
Yeah. And even the Titanic slime is quite dangerous.
Well, it's summoned, so it should be from your summoning scroll. But it dies instantly?
But it wasn't the...
no, there's...
No, it's the brain, right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, now you're spending the mana on some LRDs.
Because basically I shouldn't have started the fight in the corridor, basically. Because I didn't have the net.
Yeah, stepping out is a bit better in this situation.
No, I mean, well, actually I had a net because I can see it on the floor, but I probably just missed, so maybe it was not as bad of a decision because it was very unlucky to miss.
Yeah, and this was the problem with stepping out. You did slouch a couple of times here, but the Royal Jelly instantly comes behind the wall, and you can't slouch anymore. And then you have to fight all the spawns, being whittled down when you can't quite do it at that point. So yeah, this was
right. Okay, and then there you slouch a bunch of times.
I also had to use a magic potion.
Yeah, and also a blink because it's a very dangerous situation.
Yeah, maybe Step from Time would have been better actually, because I still have the piety, and I only have one blink.
Yeah, but they could also stay in that location, so because it's hard for them to wander out, so it's not particularly safe, and you also get some regeneration from the blink.
Yeah. So here I think I just walked back to regenerate a bit.
Yeah, and the trample.
Until I see the acid blob, and it is actually these rock slimes. They are just helping me here.
Yep.
Because I can LRD the acid blob, and the rock slimes are not as dangerous. I mean, they are still reasonably dangerous, but
well, they also trample you for regen.
Yeah, I mean, I have corrosion -16, so they are more dangerous than usual. But at least they don't start the chain reaction where everything falls apart.
Yeah, so for Kiku, these are sometimes hard to kill, and yeah, there was one situation where I immolated on low HP, and then rock slime survived because they're very resistant, and that's what killed my character. So yeah, it's better for Chei. When you can just slouch, and since they're fast, they just die.
So I think what I did was LRD and slouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it basically may kill the acid blob. So here I would probably step back. Maybe. Yeah, because the Ether Jelly still blocks the way. They can at least regenerate a bit. So basically, I would even happily allow this Ether Jelly to hit me a couple times just to get into melee range with an acid blob.
You might also try to melee it now. Yeah, instead of just... No, it was just a slouch to be safe.
Yeah. No, that was Steph from Time, I think.
Yeah, probably.
We can quickly check.
Piety.
I mean, the mana cost too. You spent 9 mana.
I guess we thought the situation was more dangerous than just meleeing. Due to the corrosion, probably. Yeah, now time to check the insane loot and slime, where you hope to find Pog, Shatter, a port.
Yeah, basically at this point the highest priority in the game are Passage of Calabria and the Shatter. Apportation as well, but it is not as important at least.
Yeah, well, you get Ignition, which turns out quite useful.
Yeah, at least I know that I can do Zigurat right now. I mean, not like exactly right now, but at least I have a path.
Right, because now you're gonna go to vaults, right?
That's what usually would happen.
Yeah.
You would expect going to vaults now, but Sergey has some extra strats that he has been attempting on the runs before this and on this run.
Yeah, you can see that I just grabbed the teleport scroll, which is only one.
Yeah. Well, in this time you only had the noise scroll after spending the last blink scroll. So yeah, you had nothing.
So the amount of teleport scrolls is pretty important when you decide where to go, I guess. I mean, when you don't have the Shatter, if you go to the tomb, it will just cost you a lot of turns if you cannot
that's why
skip tomb 2.
Yeah.
So basically I already had the one run where I just basically wasted like, I don't know, 300, 400 turns to just make it in the shitty corridor.
Yeah. Well, even just getting to tomb also takes quite a bit of time, since you need to navigate through vaults, then crypt, and then tomb, until you can finally manage to enter that Zigurat figurine.
I also just got the equipment, which was not nice at all, it seems. So yeah, here I'm just checking the path. So the other argument against the Zigurat is that I probably don't have magic mappings, which will make it luck-based if I find it or not.
Yeah, but at this point, you don't have Pog, so, and this run currently doesn't look amazing. It's
At this point, I just thought that this is yet another reset.
Yeah, okay, let's go now. This is how it goes. You start getting mutated. This attraction. I think this was my suggestion, as it doesn't work out because you get another acid blob.
So I think that I kind of knew that this floor is relatively small because of the passive mapping. So it's actually really unlucky that the second one shown up. And here I just got lucky. It's 4 HP.
Yeah, no, the temporal spam, then so that you can somehow make space. And yeah, the attraction here was also a really big problem, because once you do something, it would instantly be on top of you again.
Also here I didn't know that So all this time I've played the game, I thought that their speed, how's it called? Acid speed is. I thought it is a piercing attack, but apparently it cannot hit me if it doesn't have a direct line of fire. So I could summon butterflies way earlier than that. And here I got very lucky again. Because
imagine if acid blobs could fire through each other. That would be very scary.
All this time I thought that they can.
Yeah, and the luck here was that you went down and took like 3 turns, well, 2 or something like that turns, and the acid blob just walked towards you and didn't do anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was...
Here I can also die pretty much every single turn that I take. Because I'm exploring the area while being on 50 HP.
And statue walking with Chei.
Yeah,
I guess you
even decided
went out
to
of statue for now.
Yeah, well, also just 3 piety now.
Oh,
only 3.
I decided to go back.
Yeah, because probably
how did I resolve this fight. Well, actually, this is what I should have done, like the first time I saw it. Just walk away.
Yeah, with the shining eye. You should have just ignored it and fought it upstairs, I guess.
Yeah, maybe shining eye was the thing that spoiled the situation for me because I didn't want to be mutated so badly, which almost cost me the world record.
I guess we can't see what mutations you got, but unless we look at the log files. But that's it.
Yeah, but you'll have to manually find.
Well, you just look for mutations on slime. Like look at the slime logs and.
I don't think you got mutated at all.
Yeah, I think so.
It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, now comes the boring part of walking back without Pog.
Yeah, you can maybe speed this part up.
Okay. Let's go with 4 times. Yeah,
and
you
can stop when I enter dungeon, pretty much.
Oh. Okay. And yeah, so essentially, yeah, you would at this point hope to have some ways of traveling faster, and this run doesn't have it. So every turn it's walking, it's wasting like I don't know, a few turns compared to Pog, since you can travel at least 2 or maybe even 3 times faster with that.
And yeah, with Meteoran, you just get back the MP every time you Pog because you get exploration heal.
Yeah.
So you can just constantly Pog all the time.
Yeah. Also, something like Stormform would have been nice, just because of the exploration, because you can blink bolt.
Yeah, Wheeze also.
There's that Arc Road Ring that you would have ideally wanted before.
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Corrosion resistance. Corrosion resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah, some teleport trap exploration, always nice.
Oh, right. You're wearing the flail because it has the evocable blink, I guess.
Yeah. But actually don't use it too much because I'm a bit careless, because I don't have... because I don't believe in this run. I could shave a couple of turns here and there with a blink.
Yeah, and there was a few downstairs that you could see in D12. Maybe you're still looking for vaults at this point?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly my thought process because I was in doubt. if I go for the Waltz or for the Zigurat. This was a shitty book. But I still pick it for the just to have these spells in my library to in case I will have some acquirement scrolls and
I mean, true,
I remember
right,
when Sentei was grinding his score, he had the problem to get Shatter.
Yeah.
And so I want to have less unlearned spells to get the higher chance of getting Shatter in case of
I mean,
requirement.
So it should work like that, but I'm actually at this point not sure if it does. But not sure if you see less of the things that you haven't seen, because you can just find completely empty books in terms of spells that you haven't learned in Ziggs as well.
Do you remember ever having...
I thought it was for acquirement. Like if you find another acquirement scroll, then if you get a book, you're not going to get a book where literally none of the spells are worthwhile.
Yeah. I don't remember ever having an empty book in the acquirement.
Mm-hmm.
So here I think I just wasted a lot of turns because I was indeed looking for Waltz. Because I cannot explain why I would take some upstairs, for example.
Because, I mean, if you left it for later, at that point you would probably have Passage of Galubria or something, so it would be faster to look for it then.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like that's the only like way to check shops in my opinion. So instead of picking up gold, if you do actually want to get something from a shop, you just acquire the gold. There's pretty much no other way to do it. And yeah, I see that you have acquired gold since you have 900. There's no way to pick up that much during exploration.
Well, but if you question if it is optimal to pick up gold, I'm still not sure, to be honest, because sometimes you just get the cheap potion that would save your life and you basically wasted, I don't know, 3 turns to pick up 3 piles of gold.
Mm.
I also probably don't have the distortion weapon, which could also help in the tomb. So that's why I decided finally to go for the Zigurat.
Yeah, and in my opinion, it's a pretty good decision because in Tomb, in Vaults, you just waste time because it's so slow with what you have currently.
It is kind of a Zigurat. It gives you boost comparable to Zigurat.
Yeah, but the loot is very spread out. The one level of vaults, you can't fight the enemies all at the same time. They trickle in, and the loot is also spread out into the 4 quadrants. So you get like 2 or 3 levels of a Ziggurat worth of loot, but it's spread over the amount of turns that you could do.
I would argue that you get a lot more than just 3 floors. You never get... especially if you mean first 3 floors. I would argue that you get even more than in first 10.
You can't get XP potions in vaults, basically. You can get better loot, and like blink scrolls or something like that. Those are much more common in Ziggurats.
I think it is still not clear which strategy should be the most effective tactics available.
Well, I think that in Ziggurat you can of course rest up, get full mana between mobs, and you just fight them all at the same time, and also there's less distance to cover. Yeah, while Vaults 5 is huge. And it's the only place where you can get loot. During the Vaults 1 through 4, you just need to do nothing and explore somehow through the unbreakable walls.
I was surprised by second Agnes.
Yeah, it was Spriggan Air Mage. It has the same color as Agnes.
Okay, so now I see the shafts to the left, which is where I'm going to.
Yep, shafts are very nice. Can skip multiple levels if you're lucky. Lucky in third count by skipping levels.
It's not that relevant here. I mean, to skip.
Well, I mean, you would want to go to like the depths 4 and then go up to find what you want, since you can explore more efficiently that way. Since you would need to go down and then go back up, instead you can just go back up.
So here is also a situation where I think I almost died, but it wouldn't seem that, because it was I will soon get surrounded and I will need to cast Ignition, but Ignition is not like completely online.
Yeah, let's quickly check that. Failure rate 78%.
Yeah, and during this fight I will make it to a reasonable chance to fail, and I think if it fails, I can just basically die here.
Yeah, and this was also same as I was surprised that you managed to cast Dragon Farm. I was also surprised how fast you managed to cast Ignition here. That's 77% now.
I'm not even sure if I'm training Fire Magic now. I mean, if I'm only training Fire Magic.
Oh, yeah, 58%.
So did I just roll 77% fail?
No, you're casting Slouch?
Yeah, I think...
yeah, based on the MP, I think.
So I had to start with Slouch, and now I'll need to cast Ignition. Yeah, so basically, if I didn't cast it right here, I could have died.
Wait, was that Ignition, or that might have been Step from Time?
No, I doubt I would Step from Time. Maybe actually.
Well, it's Step from Time.
Okay.
So it's not the turn for Ignition yet? But yeah, this was also a pretty dangerous situation, but you have a few more tools now compared to Slime.
Maybe I won't even cast Ignition at all here. Maybe it's just my memory. Maybe I'm just recalling my thoughts at this moment. So it's kind of interesting for me to watch, because I don't remember everything perfectly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, casting 50% chance to fail Ignition is not the best way to survive. It's 54% now.
But now you're only training Fire Magic, yeah.
So here I also see the shops. And I think that this vault always has either jewelry or... I think it has both jewelry and bookshops. And just
that's
sometimes
the one with
it's
the trees, right?
2 jewelry, sometimes it's 2 books.
Yeah, the trees is the surround around the shops. And let's see. But yeah, so
books are exactly what I'm looking for right now.
Yeah, and also, well, managing to get into Ziggs, like getting the spells needed to survive in Ziggs and clear them. Of course, Ignition is one of them, and going into depths and like mass getting XP at this point is what managed to actually prepare you for that. So that's another interesting, good pathing, let's say. Because you might need to try to clear Ziggs by using punches or irradiate, and that can not work out sometimes.
Well, you have Slouch, so I would say that at this point, Chei starts to outperform Kiko, especially if you go into Zig, because Because on Zigurat you can slouch.
Okay.
When you don't have the damage type you need. For example, for fire floor, I would feel pretty bad with Kiko. So what did I mark? Book of Death and...
Let's see. Extra gold. Very nice. And Book of Ice. Book of Ice, Polar Vortex, Simulacrum, Freezing Cloud, and Book of Death, Enemy Dead, Haunt, and Infestation. And yeah, Infestation is an extremely nice spell. So
did I buy both?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
By using the other requirement for gold as well. So as I said, that's the way you get gold for shops, by acquiring it.
It would have been a pretty interesting choice if I only had the gold for only one book. Because Polar Vortex is very nice and Death Channel is very nice for first floors where body blocking is just a save.
Well, Polar Vortex is not something that you can expect to cast anytime soon. You don't have any ice training.
I don't know, I didn't have fire training either.
This was the first cast of Ignition.
Okay.
Let's see, 45%.
Yeah, basically I just have to cast it because if I find the Zigurat soon, I want to have enough XP for that.
Okay, now down to 30%. So yeah, we just started depths with, it was 80% failure rate. Now it's down to 30%. So
no, I think it was lower, right? It was like 45 or something. Oh, it started depths. Sorry, I thought you meant.
Yeah, and that's the Zigurat.
Okay, so I already saw it. That's why I decided to cast Ignition and not reset the fight. So this is a lucky floor for me.
Well, I mean, casting LRD on the ice piece.
I cast Stone Arrow right now, so this shows how much do I care about Ice Fiend 1v1.
Yeah, so yeah, the strat now is to get Ignition up and then hopefully get the Infestation up, and that's the two things pretty much that you can do. Yeah, elves.
Yeah, so unfortunately we cannot identify the loot by the look.
Well, you can try reading at the bottom what you're looking at. Yeah, now Ignition is at 24%, and yeah, pretty much castable. With Wizardry, definitely.
And Wizardry will help your other spells that you picked up with the books.
Yeah.
Oh, Staff of Fire.
Basically, this is not the requirement I want, but at least something.
Yep, easy floor so far.
I'm pretty sure I will have pretty dangerous ones where you basically die if you are Kiko.
Yeah, and like you wouldn't expect to find like 2 acquirements in Vaults 5 or something like that, but here...
Well, but here I was also lucky. It's not that you find 2 acquirements scroll pair, 5 Zigurat floors.
Yeah, but it's like part of the like base loot. Like it's built in that you're supposed to get them here. Same as XP.
I also just found how is it called? The Passage of Galabria.
Yeah, that's very, very nice.
That was from the Great Wizards book, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Volume 8. Yeah, so going to the Zig already paying off, and that's the minimum that you can have to possibly continue the run. But of course we need more. such as Shatter.
Well, yeah,
and
if I don't fight Shatter right now, it's basically over, because I cannot go to the Pandemonium without Shatter.
Yeah, all the extended runes would take too long to do.
Well, I mean, even vaults would take quite a bit of time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course there is a bit over 100 spells, and at this point you have probably around 40 or so picked up. So yeah, there's still quite a low chance to get the spells you want, even if you wouldn't have the RNG of getting
So
repeats.
yeah, this is a quite dangerous floor, because
you've already spent mana on LRDing because you can't leave them alive, and now you have these
and a lot of stuff here is resistant to fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're not resisting to slouching, so that's good. But you choose to just leave, so.
Yeah.
And of course, as a Meteoran, you have the privilege of just getting back a lot of HP and mana every time you enter the new floor.
Yeah, basically I could just fight them with Slouch, but they kind of caught me off guard, it seems. Because I started the fight with 60 HP.
Yeah.
And
also you were... And once you were standing on stairs, you can check the loot, see that there's nothing useful, and just leave to save turns.
Okay, wait a second.
Yeah, so a bit of training of translocation so that you can actually cast the Passage of Equilibria.
Here's where he gets Passage of Equilibria.
I think he had picked it up before, but just didn't.
No, it said you add the spells Passage of Equilibria.
Okay. So yeah, Zigurat 9, 1 out of 3. Well, the main spell found, but yeah, you still need a few more. So yeah, look at these beautiful targeters. They would have not worked before, so that's nice.
So did I also pick the apportation?
You just found Passive Equilibria, Zigurat 9.
No, but I think I had it from the Zigurat 5.
Well, no, we can scroll back. Yeah.
I mean, also considering you didn't use Passage of Equilibria
here, as you can see.
Floor.
Oh, okay, so maybe it was Great Wizards or other volume.
Yeah, Great Wizards 2.
Probably the one with a Wild Clutch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. Wild Clutch is also not a bad spell to have.
Yeah, it's very efficient and also reduces accuracy, evasion, so that's very nice.
This was some kind of a nice ring. I didn't read it properly, but just the amount of syllables.
Yeah, we can check it again.
And there was a hand axe.
No, I mean not in the acquirement, in the... here.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, it's very nice, pretty much my end game.
Yeah,
ring.
Yeah, but Safer had an even better one, so...
No, I can't complain about that. I mean, it's not elemental stuff.
Yeah.
It will also help me to not bother about statue form and to just use a necromutation. Yeah, and you see here I'm just still manually picking up items.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time without apportation.
So basically probably already wasted like 300 turns for just not having apportation and passage. So here is exactly the floor where Kiko would not do much.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you can still blink because they are not that dangerous, because they don't have
kind of hard to see the orbs of fire outside of the console.
Yeah.
They sometimes...
Okay. So, yeah, the problem was that due to did the fact that they're not orb of fires, but orbs of fire, so it's not parsing the name correctly. So it's not replacing them with the...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can fix that at some point, but yeah. So multiple orbs of fire is not a common sight anyway. Okay, yeah.
Electromutation.
Yeah.
Yep, another very useful spell.
I guess you don't care about Firestorm that much.
And we can quickly check the mutations.
No, I think Firestorm is pretty relevant. It is kind of like a polar vortex, because I already trained fire and I have some conjuration, so I have to decide if I go for the ice.
Yeah, I guess you do have some conjurations.
Yeah, so easier spells, minus int, no AC, the double times, and yeah, not amazing mutations, but at least Zigurat give you a lot.
Manageable at least.
Yeah.
Nothing too bad. I also think that I have learned Simulacrum, but I used it like maybe twice the whole run.
Yeah,
at least now
it's worse.
The passage.
I mean, it doesn't do that much in extended, right?
No, it's pretty strong.
Well, it's just that you need setup for that, and if you're not Kiku, you can just cast on your wretches, so you need to start casting on the other mobs while you can just kill them.
But I mean, okay.
I'm pretty sure that there were opportunities where I had to cast it.
Yeah, you're getting a bit lucky on so many books. Can be a bit rare in Zigs. And yeah, that's what we're coming here for. So you were Excel 20, like entered the Zig at maybe, I don't know, 19, 18. And yeah, you get to 27 from the experience potions. Or at least close.
The extra HP is nice, at least.
And ignition doing work.
What is your current amulet anyway?
Yeah, we can, if the inventory screen pops up, we'll be able to check.
But yeah, this is just standard Zig.
Well, something the Scorchers did some damage.
When do they not? Guess now you memorize Infestation and maybe start training for it.
Yeah, I guess you can see them. Oh, okay. The amulet is region, magic region.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and you're using... Yeah, we're just checking out some of the equipment that you have on. So yeah, we have MP region amulet, Ring of Wind, that insane ring. And let's see, the other items are Scarf of Propulsion, Scene Viz Head, a buckler.
Yeah, nice you have shield.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. And you do have a distortion weapon now.
I think this loot is already better than what I had in one of my attempts where I died with 13 runes. Because I didn't went into Zig there.
Yeah, there was an attempt when you tried to skip Zig, but you need more power. that the Zig manages to give. It saves more turn than you spend if you can survive in there.
This is also kind of dangerous floor.
Yeah.
I'll probably just need the... Oh, this was infestation, right?
Yep.
But I guess you try to Zig until you find Shatter, pretty much. Because if you don't find Shatter, then
yeah, basically
you're not going to save anything, yeah.
Yeah, I can just Control Q, which is a quit.
Yeah, you need also the yes. Don't forget the yes.
Yeah. So this situations was quite dangerous. I think I just drank the heal wounds. But that guy could high roll me if he was lucky.
What was the fail rate of infestation? Because you memorized it just the floor.
No, remember? Well, he was training for that.
Yeah, you remember that XP potion? It was just for.
Yeah, you invested it into necromancy.
Yeah, and the failure was 13%.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Here I may be just playing recklessly because I don't have Shatter and I don't have a lot of hope in this run yet.
Yeah, because it's really not guaranteed that you find any spell that you want in the Zig, as I have some experience of completing full Zig twice and not getting Pog or Shatter. So, yeah. Yeah, another slightly dangerous floor for Meteorans. Well, no, not Meteorans.
But it's more of an annoying floor. Because, I mean, they won't realistically kill me.
It's just that you have to kill them slowly because you have no mana.
Yeah. So the worst case is I'll just use a distortion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not yet... there are not yet that many enemies on the floor. So it's kind of fine.
Blink? Emo?
Actually, Blink was maybe a mistake because it was better to just waste... No, I actually don't know because maybe I have enough blinks. So another play I think was to use a distortion, save some mana in Abyss,
Yeah,
and just go back and blow them up.
Let's see. Scrolls. Yeah, you have 3 blinks.
Yeah, so this is probably a blink for turn saving. I don't think that I treated this situation as dangerous. But it can get ugly, so I don't really think that it was too bad to blink there.
Yeah, also a summon scroll.
I can tell you. Yeah, Tele is nice. Because basically no need to fight them. Ideally, I would like to just land on the exit.
Yeah, but like that was good. You explored a bit. They didn't drain your mana, and you had enough for ignition. They clumped up, so that worked out nicely. Yeah, looking for Shatter or Apportation.
And there you find Apportation.
Yeah, so the full set is almost complete. At this point, Shatter is the only spell that you're missing that would be good. Insanely good. Because
yeah, basically, I don't care about anything else. Maybe only Stormform for the orbrun.
So around this point, we're at turn 4,896 something. That's when you learned Apportation, at least.
Yeah, and I think that it is kind of slow. Because
Yeah, it was.
I saw Safir did entered Zigurat maybe 1,000 turns earlier in one of his wasted attempts.
Yeah, so I mean, with that that puts into perspective how much you saved later on in the run.
Yeah, it's like the training arc. You're front loading all the turns that you spend and hoping to find everything that you need, and then just trying to go fast. And it manages to work out in this run. Well, at the very end, as I said, you only managed to pull ahead in the orbrun.
Yeah, almost died. Well, it is not actually really close because while I'm at low HP, enemies are not dangerous with the left on the screen.
Yeah, those are actually your friends.
Not the worst situation you've been in, at least.
Yeah. If you're in 3 form, have ignition and infestation. 2 enemies are not particularly dangerous. Yeah, now drinking some mutation potions, waiting for the form to time out.
So actually, I think that I should have trained Earth at this point. Because I just have to hope for the...
Right, that's true.
Yeah,
I think it was kind of a mistake from me to not train it yet.
Yeah, and here we have some strats for dealing with scarabs. You need to actually be standing on a portal to be able to use pogs, because if you're not standing on it, then they will use the portal instead of you once you cast it.
And this is one of the reasons I hate Kiko. I mean, it might be objectively better than Chei, but I just don't like it, particularly because of that. I even used to get to 3 piety with Kiko and switch to Chei in the dungeon.
Just to get the spells.
You did? Yeah. You tried that?
Yeah.
I guess I missed your attempts with. Yeah, that's a nice strat.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I sent you screenshots of this run, but maybe you didn't watch it live.
Okay.
So here I also decided to learn this channel, which is not a bad idea, I think.
At this point, you are having to prioritize some spells with the spell levels and all that, right? Because you forgot LRD for necromutation earlier.
Well, it might have been, but LRD is not useful anyways, going forward.
Yeah, it's like but I will have to decide which spells to use.
Yeah, I'm not saying that was a difficult choice, but I'm saying that it means that from now on, especially if you're going to get Shatter, then that's 9 extra spell levels, and now you have to start.
Yeah. And I will also want to have either Polar Vortex or Firestorm, so that's another 9 levels.
Yeah, well, you can also forget Dragon Form at this point.
Yeah, even Statue, which I eventually did.
Right. So that's 13 spell levels alone.
And I also have some spellcasting to train yet, and I'm not max level yet, so I'll have some later.
Yeah.
But I guess you also have to find Amnesia Scrolls for it, which I guess you do in the SIGs.
Yeah, usually you do.
Yeah, the main problem with the spell levels comes in when you do some random spells, like I don't know, something like Summon Forest or or stuff like that, and then you need to forget a bunch of them, and that can be. But through this game, you managed to get good spells, and Dragonfire mainly carried through without needing to learn anymore, so that saves some. And more XP potions, and level 27 reached.
So here I was probably deciding between Polar Vortex and Firestorm, because I was checking the fail rates of the highest level spells.
And I think we decided Firestorm is better.
No, I think I used Polar Vortex. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I used it.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, this is a very dangerous floor if you get it early in the Zig, because you just can't really deal with multiple Panlords. But at this point, you're actually strong.
Well, it is still dangerous, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, they can always silence you.
Well, but I probably manually checked if any of them has silence, because it's not like a mega zigging.
Yeah, and in this case, yeah, like the Panlords, the and symbol, you only have tiles for the main Panlords, and the other ones are randomly generated. So DCSS really doesn't do that. So they just, some of those are just and symbols. Others which match the color are the Hell and Panlords.
So
that's
these
just how
spectrums are, so spectral things are my friends, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just displayed, not like my friends.
Yeah. You can like look at the bottom right and see that they have the green background, so that usually means friendly. They also have they also have the green letters on the right in the menu scene monsters.
Still no shatter.
Yeah, but you got the amulet of 4
I think I will
winds.
get shatter here. Somewhere around here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's not much left to go from the Zigurat.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't get it in the first Zig, then you're just gonna keep wasting time.
Well, I think at the current state of world record, you can clear more than one Ziggurat and you will still have time.
Okay.
I think if you optimize everything, the world record should be maybe 1,000 turns faster. Well, maybe 1,000 is a bit of a stretch, but like at least
well, I mean, we're talking about humanly possible, and then if you actually did the seeded runs, you could save like a bit more.
Well, yeah, with seeded runs, I think we can talk about like 6k, 6.5.
You mean total then? Obviously not saving 6k.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to beat the crow on 3,000 turns. Well, it would be even less. But yeah, I'm more talking about if we take into account best segments of each run.
But yeah, I mean, you can get really OP artifacts in the beginning, and then you can start casting high-level spells early on, and then just automatically clear everything.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah, we can quickly look at the training, how it goes.
Yeah, I think this was just a bad decision for me to not go for Earth Magic at this point.
Well, yeah, you have only 10. You need probably 20 for chatter. Wood Wizardry, maybe 18.
Yeah, I think you need less than 20 with the... 48 int too.
Yeah, true. Both ranks give int.
Okay, wait a couple seconds again.
another draconian floor that isn't perfectly safe, but at least now with
Yeah, it's better than a lot of things you could get.
Yeah, and I mean, it's better than the previous ones because now you have infestation and all that.
Yep. And here we go. The Book of Annihilations.
Yes.
So that's what we have been waiting for all along, and quite a few promising runs which were missing spells have died because, well, I mean, have ended unsuccessfully due to not finding the spells they need in Zigurats. And this finally is one more that you can actually attempt to clear the rest of the game with, since you have the spells which make it possible. This run in turn count is slow at this point, since there was a lot of time.
Almost 5,200 turns at this point. So
did I just find Shatter?
Shatter, yes.
Yep. And so we can actually continue now, able to actually do the run, since previously so many runs have died in Zigurats as well, since they weren't able to find the spells, but this one was lucky. It's a bit slow, but yeah, we can continue now. So obviously no more reason to clear Zigurats.
Well, I can clear one more floor to just get Shatter castable fast.
Yeah, but it's still a waste of time. It turns in some sense. So
I'm not sure, because if you go to the Pandemonium now and you will, and if you get,
I mean, each Zig floor takes what, like 50 turns or something.
And you will save more than 50 by just casting Shatter in some vault where you really need it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So now I remember. So at this point, we were discussing if you should do the orbrun tomb or not.
Yeah. Which is probably a dumb idea, because it can only be slower because of the Zot effect, which will distract you.
Well, I mean, the idea was that you save turns walking back and forth from vaults and back, but with Pog, the time it takes is probably around 100 turns.
Yeah.
So you can probably expect to save that much. Well, I mean, you can expect to lose that much from doing it during the orb run. So, and since the Pog is less accurate as well.
Yeah, I think you lose much more if you do it on the orb run. Not only because of the accuracy of the passage, but also because of the duration.
Yeah, and this was, of course, done on an older patch where the Pog still lasts a long time until you get to Zot. And it's also less accurate when you have the Zot effect. So that means there's more radius. But yeah, as you can see, you decide to skip the next floor and just try your luck finding more XP along the way.
Yeah. I was also deciding if I should go to the Pandemonium now or to the vaults.
Yeah. Going to the vaults now. I mean, going to the Pandemonium now. Well, I mean, we decided to go to vaults, but why exactly? Why not Pandemonium? Do you think?
Well, honestly, I think it just doesn't matter at all. Probably it would be. I mean, you still have to do this 100 turns back and forth, but probably in vaults, it's having Shatter online is not as important as in Pandemonium.
Mm-hmm.
And then
if you had trained Earth Magic in Zig in preparation for Shatter, would you have decided to do Pan instead?
Yeah, maybe. But what I was going to say is just in Tomb you only need to cast Shatter like once, and that's it. And some Pandemonium vaults require you to cast it multiple times.
Yeah, and if you had Shatter, you would have already saved like I don't know, 20, 30 turns here.
Yeah.
Since you could just...
Yeah. So I probably also don't know the location of vaults yet.
And Shatter would help with that too. But I guess now you managed to find it here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's another what we call shatter value moment right here.
Yeah.
Since Safer didn't have shatter during his Kiku run, which is why this was possible to beat. Yeah, every moment like this was a shatter value moment. So until you managed to train up, it's still shatter value. But okay, I guess you did manage to cast it, so that's good.
Yeah, you can also notice that I casted Leech Form to not get mutations from the miscast.
Yeah, since you can have big contamination from level 9 spells.
Yeah. It would be very interesting for me to see a Kiku run where you cast Shatter and extend it. Because what I would expect is basically more than half of the time you would just play it as an atheist.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, maybe somewhat close was my Ash run. That, well, I mean, it was much slower, but it did have the infestation and shatter, and most of the time it was indeed not summoning not summoning things, because it was just interfering with the mass destruction spells.
Yeah. So here I'm basically looking for either. So I'm either diving to Vaults 5 or going into Tomb. I don't care which one do I find first.
Yeah, and that's another save time moment, because if you were to do vaults first, you have to do vaults 5 first, because you just can't do tomb. Oh, pretty much. But I think
I'm not sure. If you have Shatter, you pretty much can do Tomb. But I mean, yeah, it would be it would involve more risks for sure. So it would not be an equal situation. But I just disagree that you cannot do Tomb.
yeah, 17 scrolls of teleportation now, so that's what doing a Zig does. 22 floors.
Yeah, these scrolls saved me a lot of time in hell. So here I think I'm already unlucky. And I probably regret leaving Zigurat. Because that one floor would make Shatter castable, and I would save a lot of turns here. Unless I die, which was possible.
Wait, okay. Let's check the failure rates.
I think it's like maybe 80% at this point. Well,
You
not
on
really.
wizardry, 65% with wizardry.
Yeah. So it's annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, so this wasted. Yeah, okay, so yeah, we can now see that you maybe that one floor costs you like 200 turns or something like that. So at least until now.
Yeah, you see I'm red contaminated. Maybe it is... no, it was actually red. I was wondering if it is the display that makes red
Yeah,
to show up.
yeah, this
Otherwise,
shows colors.
yeah.
Yeah, now we do the degenerate turn count gameplay.
No, it's the most exciting part.
It's what separates the boys from the men.
Yeah, exactly. I should also carry the bread in my hand for the true gameplay.
Okay, finally downstairs.
But it was, I think, really unlucky layout.
Yeah, you explored a lot of the level. And yeah, yeah, specifically being able to cast Shatter in 2 vaults is. Yeah, go ahead.
Here you were trying to shatter a bunch of times, right? And you miscast.
Oh yeah, I was red contaminated.
Yeah.
And here I'm going into this corridor because I was suspecting that this is a crypt entrance.
The crypt, yeah, because it had this cross layout thing.
Yeah, I actually thought it wasn't at the time, but you proved me wrong. You and we are discussing this live. And yeah, like just being able to cast Shatter is why I now think that doing Zig first is probably the correct play, unless you manage to be safer and just manage to get into the Zig figurine by just teleporting, luckily, in Tomb. So if you're insane, you do the Zig in Tomb first, and if you're not, you just do the Zig in depth to prepare Shatter for specifically this kind of exploration, which saves so many turns.
So here I'm fighting these trash mobs just for the failure rate.
Yeah,
because you need to have it. Well, I guess it's because you want to have it castable into 1, because that's where you have to do the sequence break.
Yeah.
You also only need to cast
for
it
the
once,
for the break, I already have enough.
Yeah. And it's mostly that I would expect that you don't actually get much XP from those mobs, and you would rather get a lot more from all the greater mummies in Tomb.
Let's quickly 24% now, so yeah, all good, pretty much.
And that's probably with Wizardry Ring.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also once had a game where I was casting Shatter in my first S branch, and because I had a double Wizardry Ring, but it didn't end well because I had no defensive options.
And not enough mana to cast it, probably.
So here I probably want to magic mapping. Actually, not really, because I don't care about the skip. But basically, when you use magic mapping here, you can sometimes tell if which portal leads to the correct place in Tomb 2.
Yeah, and that teletrap got you a nice location right next to the entrance. If you try to fight through the corridor from the other side, you would have to go through half or maybe even more of the royal mummies.
So here, this hatch, I think it leads to the place I need, because it is in the corner.
Yeah, and very nice. Very nice. Well, at this point, it actually doesn't matter because you have Shatter. So, but in other cases, this is you need to try to teleport into this location, or well, yeah, teleport or try to go through the whole sequence.
I actually still hesitate to use Shatter here, which might be a nice decision because I don't want to fight the whole floor. It is just a waste of turns.
I was gonna comment on that now you can't use Shatter because otherwise you have to fight a lot more stuff, and that's just gonna lose you time.
So Tomb 3 is going to be just an easy walk with an infestation.
Yeah, and ignition.
And Leech Form. And Death Channel.
And you pre-mark yourself so that you can get all the enemies at once.
I think this is still continuing from the mark before.
Yeah, I also think so. By the way, how often do you see that there is an enemy in line of sight when you just enter the Tomb 3?
I would say
50% of the time.
Yeah, like the 1/3 chance probably, I would guess. It's like not impossible, but yeah, it's not doesn't usually happen.
I would actually guess that you almost never see them.
Yeah, this is actually still a pretty dangerous situation.
Not really.
Well, I mean, you're slow and you have Benny's next to you.
Well, I have 21 AC, 32 evasion, I have blinks, so...
I guess, unfortunately, you got this layout where it's not obvious where the rune is, but...
Well, we circulated,
I guess.
And you can also dig those.
Yeah, it's probably the worst you can get. It's probably like the only one where you have to guess, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think this layout is almost specifically made so that you can't just skip the Tomb 3. Well, it's supposed to force you to not just teleport and try to ninja the room. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, though.
So here I'm probably not using Shutter just because of the scarabs.
The death scarabs, yeah.
Yeah, and I think you might...
there you go.
Yeah, very nice. And I think before this run you didn't even know that you could dig through those? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even know that until you said it today, so even if you told me before, I already forgot it.
I mean, now it's maybe not apparent in the DCSS replay, but do they have different tiles than the normal tomb walls? Because, I mean, those are not diggable, right? So
yeah, I think they're different.
Sure.
Yeah, they're different. So the currently is just hard coded for every hashtag to be this tomb colored.
Yeah.
But you can see in the bottom right that these walls are white, while the diggable ones are brown. So they'll look different.
Okay, I see.
I also wanted to get the Zigurat figurine, but I was unlucky, and I don't think like wasting time to go to the second room is worth it.
Yeah, because at this point, that's mostly just an extra layer of safety for you.
Right? Yeah, and that's a very nice Stella.
It was a skill, you know?
Yeah. Well, once you play enough, you learn to be skilled in.
Yeah, so sometimes you're lucky and sometimes you're skilled. That's the moral of the story.
Well, basically, when I get lucky, it's skill. When you get lucky, it's lucky.
And when Sapphire gets lucky, what's that then?
Yeah, Sapphire gets lucky, and I win based on skill.
Yeah.
And lose because of being unlucky. Yeah, so I finally decided to go for the polar vortex because it will be nice at some floors.
Yeah, like check how many times did you end up casting polar vortex?
I think check? A lot. Well, we can check.
54 times.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
reasonable.
So it's quite a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Especially considering this is a turn count run.
Yeah, and since it lasts a few turns, so that's 54 times, like, what, 7 turns? And, well, actually, you can only cast maybe every 10 turns. So 500 turns of Tornado.
Well, it's not like that because you walk slowly and basically it ends earlier.
Yeah. Also, you could theoretically get cancelled early by getting blinked. Well, maybe, I don't know if getting forcibly blinked does that anymore, but if you blink yourself, it will cancel it, I think.
Except with a blink scroll.
Not very consistent rules, to be honest, with that one.
Yeah, I at this point I think about blink as just a really fast movement. Well, Pog is actually a teleportation. Yeah, teleport scrolls also cancel it. And yeah, Rampage doesn't cancel it. So you could do full screen blinks with the 7 league step boots.
True.
So here it is not a skill problem, it's just me being unlucky with stairs.
Yeah.
Well, it was a pretty good tomb, so it balances out.
Yeah, kind of. Well, in tomb you know where the stairs are at least.
True.
So I just knew where to teleport.
Yeah. At least you have Shadow Castle.
Again. Yeah, control teleport with your mind. That's where the skill comes in.
I mean, if you just don't get the teleport, you can reset and then play the same run again until you get a good teleport, and then say that it was skill.
Yeah. I think you can speed up this part, maybe like a double speed.
I mean, now you're just looking for Vaults 5, so it's not...
Yeah, just pogging around.
Straightforward. I just hope to find the staircase and to use it.
Or even better,
I'm actually not sure if you can shaft from a Vaults 3 to Vaults 5.
No, you can't.
Yeah. Expected.
Yeah, magic mapping for some faster exploration since it's been taking so long.
Yeah, it was kind of an emotional decision.
And yeah, teleport, pre-read, get teleported down to the bottom. I mean,
wait, it was not a teleport, it was a hedge.
Oh, that's right. Well, it's pretty much the same. And there's also something you can't really do if you come to vaults too early. Yeah, pugging around is really dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a very nice quick rune find.
Yeah, this was lucky. Also, magic mapping not that bad.
Menace? The Menace?
And as far as I understand, he had his aura active at this point.
Yeah, it said silencing next to the name, so
that's why I probably decided to leave. To just not get stuck. I mean, I probably wouldn't have died, but it could get kind of bad.
Yeah, quick ignition to get some XP. And so now the walk to
At this point, I probably don't care about anything at all. Just need to find all the entrances.
Yeah. So speed up again, since now we just need to pause.
You can speed up until I go into the Pandemonium.
Yeah, because now we just try to figure out the quickest paths back. And this is the walk back that I was saying that you wouldn't need to do if you try to do this during the orbrun, but yeah, it probably doesn't work out. So this was the better decision.
Yeah, so here I see the fountains, and maybe I did check these files to understand if this is the entrance vault or just some random vault. Or maybe it is like an abyss vault, which I don't care about.
Yeah, and I mean, also worth mentioning is that a priori, of course, you don't know how long it would normally take to go through vaults to find crypt and all that stuff, but considering that Sergei was a bit unlucky with the layouts, if you had orbrun spawns on top of that, then that would have compounded into even a greater time loss. So
yeah, it would be also a bit of a time loss. Also, I can expect to have the penlords, I don't kill them. So.
Mm-hmm. But you immediately get the message for there being a special random pan vault here. I see in the log. A powerful Pandemonium lord resides here. So it's one of those unique ones, like Hellion Island. I don't know if you remember which one you got.
Yeah, I don't remember. I might have.
You see water there, so yeah. It's likely the ice statues.
Yeah. Well, but you would see lava as a water as well.
Oh,
yeah, but probably we just somehow checked if it was a statue.
Yeah, because when you look at well, maybe not.
Well, you can tell that this is not a Hellion Island by just the amount of walls close to the.
Oh yeah, I mean now it's pretty clear.
Yeah. Well, now it is not even a question. So here I think I forgot to set up a portal near. I mean the passage near the portal. Because I think that arc to the right of the map was the portal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are entrances to the next level. If they're
actually,
purple,
I did set up it. Yeah, okay, so this was pretty clean.
Yep, nice. So yeah, the strategy in Pandemonium is pog until you find an exit. And shatter or ignition if you need to kill something. Not much to it, except to get lucky and find quick exits.
Well, actually, setting up passages is also some kind of skill here, which I don't think I do correctly.
Yeah, it goes a bit much into one direction instead of multiple ones. Yeah, you could. Okay, that's a pretty nice one. I mean, in terms of finding the rune. This is the Glorks.
I can do one shatter and it will be. I can probably start teleporting. Do shut. No, this wouldn't be. Yeah, probably should shatter first and then use teleportation, and grab the rune and leave the floor.
Yeah, I think you're counting that, but you might be just one tile out of range from the rune. Or
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I checked the layout, so I knew where the room is. Or maybe I'm checking it right now. But at this point, I was taking this run pretty seriously, so I kind of checked all the vaults and tried to optimize.
yeah, you were just out of range by 2 steps. But like executioner simulacras are pretty strong.
Yeah,
so,
they are insane. They can basically kill Glorks in one turn if you make just 2 packs. I mean, if you kill 2 executioners while they are marked with simulacrum.
Yep.
Simulacrum is also very nice in the clown floor because you don't want to get mutated. It's not that relevant here because I have leech form, but sometimes you do care about line of sight.
Yeah, so we have the bloody floor because the tiles are red dot, which there's no other way to assume but to assume that it's like an exception or blood. But in this case, it's just Pandemonium choosing random colors for the walls and floors. Yeah, so 16 ice magic.
I mean, after this, are there any other things that you want to train for, or are you just going to train for basically spell power?
No, I'll
Defenses?
probably train for fighting, dodging, all the general
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and a bit of Earth as well. But I don't really care about spell power much.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, with 48 int, you have just about enough. Yeah, and this is the Cerebov floor. We also check out the DES file for this vault to try to figure out where everything is.
Yeah, because some of these walls were iron, and I was suspecting that they might lead to the vault, but apparently it was some kind of just random iron, not the vault, not the rune vault.
It seems uncommon to me, so a bit unfortunate, I guess.
What do you mean by uncommon?
I mean that I think usually the only iron walls are around Cerebrov's castle in that floor.
Mm, I think there can be there's like one random vault in Pandemonium's the DES files that is iron, but yeah. Also,
But it didn't took long to figure out which one is which here.
yeah.
Because basically here you can see that. Yeah, here I'm doing the stupid counting of tiles to understand where the room is. It was also confusing me because it was a type of vault that may or may not have lava. And when I was testing it in Wismot, it did have lava, and in my game, didn't have. So I was confused a bit.
Yeah, the random generation, partial random generation of the vaults.
Yeah, so the passages leading upwards are just to to have an escape, because I know there is a portal, and my plan is to grab the room enter the passage and appear immediately on the portal.
Right.
Yeah, I was thinking you'd fight more, but it worked out quite well. Just stealing the runes as well. Well, I mean, that's what Shatter does.
Yeah, so here I'm probably marking where I think the rune is. Yeah, you see I'm counting tiles.
Just go look at the vault files in the code.
Yeah, that's what we were doing.
Well, I was not checking the code, I was just generating the vault in offline
mode,
game.
yeah.
Yeah, and this part of the speedruns is really quite a bit annoying if you want to optimize everything. You have to look up a lot of vaults or know them, and to actually know where you're going. So yeah, this knowledge is not not particularly interesting to know. But if you want the best record, that's what you have to do.
I mean, you could say the same about earlier parts of the run too. It's just that it's more necessary to do here because you're ninjaing brutes.
Yeah, because I know that Suffer, he checks, for example, Ossuaries as well.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about that earlier. Nice, there's the room.
And you just leave.
Very clean.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I could have done the same with just teleportation, because it took me, you saw it was quite a lot of back and forth.
It took a long
passages.
time to set up the portals, it's true.
But it was not bad at least. And I didn't have to, I probably didn't even see the Cerebov.
No.
Which is my favorite way to fight.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah, okay.
Well, Cerebov can still appear while you're randomly doing pan, but then you would have to be a bit unfortunate.
So this is probably a LOM layout. And Brimstone Fiend means, oh well, it might be just a normal Pandemonium.
This is just a normal pan floor, right? Yeah.
I didn't notice the message. Yeah, but probably it is because of how fast I try to explore.
I mean, based on the enemies, right? It's.
Well, no, it was Ice Devil and Smoke Demon, and I thought that Brimstone Fiend was just the part of the Cerebov pack.
Okay.
Yeah, so this one is the clown one.
Right, but did you... I mean, I guess you just shattered because you needed to get into the vault. But did you try to look up the vault at this point? Because now
yeah,
would
but
also
I think I didn't understand. No, actually, I think I kind of realized.
Maybe that's what you're
but it
doing
was-
now, because now you can see sort of what it looks like.
Yeah, but I was trying to guess it based on like 4 tiles that I could see.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I
trying
think
to
it's
restore
random,
it
and
by
it's in one
little
of the
patterns.
cardinal directions.
And I think at the end I understood what it was. It's like the X formation in the middle.
Yeah.
Or like more of a plus formation.
The cross, as you could say.
Yeah. So here I'm probably thinking if I have to set up the passage for the exit already. Or maybe I'm still looking for the... Well, wait, am I inside or outside right now?
You're outside.
Yeah, okay. I was just thinking maybe I just shattered and and that's why it seemed.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe at this point you were thinking that the Cerebov. I mean, based on what you said, right? That maybe it would be better to just teleport instead of trying to set up passages. But I guess now you have a bunch of enemies too, so that makes it also slightly more annoying to set up the passages because they can just ruin them at any point.
This was kind of weird teleport.
Yeah.
Or maybe I just cannot keep track of what's going on here.
Okay, but now
no. Wait, it is inside the vault.
I think he just got attracted to the sound.
Yeah, that's like the entrance to the vault. Yeah, I remember we were trying to figure out which vault exactly this is because there could be a few.
I actually thought it was another one, so I was wrong.
Yeah, this was very tricky, even to figure out while we're in the game.
So this is a very scary part because I'm afraid that my passage might have disappeared.
Yeah, no, you're just trying to set up. And you just got unlucky by not going back there several times in a row, but
yeah,
I guess it worked out.
And this is the 1 and 3 layout. And
you got it.
So yeah, and I got skillful again.
Yes, exactly.
Well, but basically this.
Oh yeah, and now the other one did.
Well, no, there wasn't another one. I think Sergey used the outside.
He never went back there, and yeah, right.
Well, because he was worried about it running out.
So basically, I beat the world record by just like 80 turns, and so all these situations where you have to just guess. So all of them mattered. So basically, like 2 wrong guesses, it's what it takes to lose the world record or to win.
Yeah, it was one of the slimmest of the upgrades to the world record. That previously we were thinking about like a 500 turn upgrade or something like that when the Meteoran came out, and you just needed a bit of a better luck. But now, yeah, it's small.
Yeah, but I mean, like the bad and good luck with the finding things cancels out, so you can say that all of it matters, but at the same time, there's not much you can do about it, right? It's just keep playing.
No, you can do something about it. You just guessed correctly.
Oh yeah, there's Cerebov.
He looks funny with this.
Yeah, when he's just one tile.
Yeah.
And he look at the. No, it's not a Cerebov. It's a random.
Oh.
No, I think there's also Cerebov.
Yeah, because I saw it in the log that Cerebov. So this is fake Cerebov, and.
Yeah, because the true Cerebov would not have died to ignition. How does your application decides which tile to give for each Pandemonium Lord? Because previously they were Ereshkigal, or whatever she is named.
It decides on the letter and the color. Well, yeah, so yes, initially it's the letter and the color, and there's also extra rules for if things are in certain locations, you can assume that some things are different, and if there are also some extra rules for when monsters are inside. So inside, that means they have one of the 4 positions on the right. So then you can read their name and decide that their tile looks like that. So, so essentially for the Pandemonium Lords, they are just the and symbol, and they have a random letter, and so you just pick from the letter and combinations. And yeah, the only essentially, let's see, the only possible variations are just the main panlords and the Garyon. Since generating the random panlords from the tiles is not
so
something.
You prioritize trying to identify them as one of the unique panlords.
Yeah,
which means that you're gonna see Cerebov a bunch of times because, I mean, it would be better to display actual Cerebov as Cerebov instead of trying to be more accurate with random panlords.
Yeah, well, I guess one thing to say that the Cerebov would usually just be inside as the highest HD monster, so you could just read for that and otherwise show random panlords. But then it would end up just being the same panlord every time. Because generating them from the body parts would be like not something I would want to do.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, that's what they do if you control X and there's a panlord in sight. There's this default panlord tile, I think, in Red Group.
I know about it. So I guess that could be used, but it's it's something antiquated. No, nobody would really know what that is. There's also the player ghost tile, which is also like some ghostly type instead of the randomly generated player image.
So here I could not set up the passage of Galabri because I was on an island consisted of one tile, and it cannot place.
So you had to shatter, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a bit interesting that Passage of Galubria needs ground underneath it. It can be shallow water. But that was another nice.
Yeah, this was very clean, I would say.
Well, except for that teleportation.
Yeah, that's your surroundings look slightly different. Teleport.
Yeah, because I forgot to read Poison Scroll.
Oh yeah, right.
Well, but I wouldn't do it on a speedrun, to be honest.
Do you even pick up them after a certain point?
No.
So it's not even clear if you would have had any in your inventory in the first place.
I mean, you probably, at this point, you just skip a lot of good consumables anyway.
Yeah.
Like Might. You can even skip Brilliance.
I mean, I would expect you to maybe, at best, pick them up in your Zigs, but probably not anyway. Here's Cerebov again. Actual Cerebov.
Yep.
So what do I even have left?
You have...
I think you're done with Pan. You're looking for an exit.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Looks like that's one.
So ideally, I want to go to the Abyss now. Well, exit would also work.
Right. Did you have a distortion weapon? But
yeah.
I guess you went to this one now.
Well, a distortion weapon doesn't work because you don't exit the Pandemonium after you leave.
No. That's not what I mean. I mean, if he found an exit out of Pandemonium, then it would be the same because you could just start using Disto there.
Yeah, now we have the Disto strats. Yeah, just using Disto until you find the rune. That's a really good strat. Well,
so actually, I mean, Actually, I got lucky because it seems like I found the rune, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, and I remember I didn't have the force more for it. And I just somehow noticed it at the very last moment, because I was about to get one more distortion unveiled trick.
That's a very fast Abyss rune pickup.
Yeah, this is pretty fast, I
Yeah.
would say.
Less than 50 turns?
I can actually check. Let's see.
I'd say at this point of the game, 50 would be kind of like an average, maybe like slightly faster.
Yeah, 45 runes. And 45 turns. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So I thought it was like maybe 10.
Well, 45 turns until you picked it up, but it took like 84 turns from entering the abyss to exiting it with the rune. So yeah, less than 100 turns, which is something at least.
Okay, now for the main part of the speedrun. This is where the action happens, if you're actually playing well. That's going to be the hells.
Yeah, hells after the update, they're pretty scary. I mean, I already died once, as I've mentioned before, in hell. So my character is pretty healthy at this point, so I didn't actually expect to die in hells, but it could happen. You never know.
Yeah, like this, a lot of power. Like the ambush walls are just brutal sometimes.
Yeah,
the one with the Silent Spectre
yeah,
in
exactly.
Tartarus is pretty bad.
Okay, so let's just check out the spells real quick, see what we're dealing with. And yeah, so PVC, Polar Vortex, Infestation, Shatter, Operation, like the pretty much the perfect spell list. Like Iron Shot is not amazing, like, but what else would you want instead of that? Yeah, and you can also even combo BVC with Iron Shot to get the accuracy higher. So yeah. Yeah, we can check the items real quick as well. So yeah, Warlock's Mural from the Zig. Yeah,
So
pretty
basically
good.
have all resistances I need. I have reasonable defenses.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, and so with Lich form in Gehenna, you don't have any consumables because no potions and no scrolls.
Yeah, at least you have step from time.
Yeah, the best consumable. And in Kakaitis, you lose nothing by being in Lich form. Is there anything that made you decide to do Gehenna first, or was it just that you went left and then saw Gehenna and decided to do it?
Yeah, here I basically do not care about the order at all.
I wouldn't expect the character to really change in power level anyway between.
Yeah, true.
Doors.
The only change is less consumables, possibly. So it goes down, the power level.
I guess then you would want to do the hardest ones first, but not much you can do about that.
So for my character, probably the hardest one are decent. How that's called? The Tartarus. Yeah, and Tartarus is not even hard. It is just you might get unlucky. But this is just the brute force is dangerous.
Okay, that's a nice shaft, 2 levels.
So here I didn't take another shaft, which I probably could.
Yeah, since you can just get stuck inside of the middle, and you would like to pog inside and then leave it.
Because you can't use scrolls, you can't teleport out if you get stuck somewhere.
Yeah, so this one I recognized pretty quickly.
Or, well, rather, you can't save turns by getting shafted onto the rune because you would have to. Well, I mean, you wouldn't save that much because you would have to go out the normal way.
Actually, I still wanted to take the shaft, but I just. I think I made a mistake and allowed the other monster to step on it.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that there was a way to prevent it. And the shaft is mainly not for the. Not to land on the rune or something, but just because I didn't see the stair otherwise.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's true.
So yeah, there is a 1 and 2 chance to get the rune. So these are iron walls, and behind one of them is well, I think both of them are just treasure rooms without the how does he called this boss from the zone?
Yeah, the
Asmodeus.
Hell Lord.
Asmodeus?
Yeah. So I think he is chilling into the room to the right, because in normal scenario you're supposed to go past him to get the rune.
Well,
Yeah.
you got it first try, so
Yeah, that's very nice once again.
And as you guys said earlier, each one of these matters because it's such a small margin that you have.
Yeah, and so for the record, at this point, all of this time, Safer's run is still faster in terms of turn count. He has picked up every rune faster than this since the slime rune.
Well, aren't Sergei's splits? I mean, if you think like in terms of speedrun terminology, aren't they faster now because that's how he catches up with Sapphire?
Yeah. I was saying in total turns. Well, I mean, yeah, that's right. So at this point, Safer's run is picking up the runes more slowly in terms of turns between runes, but in terms of total time spent to get those runes, it has been faster. So the difference is slowly decreasing. Yep, the annoying howl enemies, especially with half will.
I think in this version it doesn't check will.
Okay.
Yeah, they just have one use of it, right? And it just.
Well, I mean, okay, I think they might have already. No, never mind.
I think it's pretty recent, that change.
I think they check will in 0.30.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about the Zigurats and.
Yeah. Mega zigging, I mean. So far, I'm kind of lucky with the layouts here.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're consistently getting to see the stairs, basically every time.
So this is a maze. So I just use the teleport, and I use passage before teleport because I hoped that I can teleport.
Yeah, if you get the
on top of the
jackpot, then
room.
you can just do it in 10 turns. Basically.
Or at least I can set up passages on both sides of this maze, so that I can have a quick access to both sides. But apparently it didn't work out as I planned.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you landed still pretty far from the rune.
No, I think
Just on the other.
the rune is right next
to
to
the
me
right
now.
here.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you had to still go up through half the level, pretty much. You landed just above the river.
I just had to use shatter more aggressively. And at
I
this
think you're
point,
trying.
the passage on the other side is gone. And bad thing is that you can see I only have 7 teleportation scrolls at this point. And those save a lot of turns. And you saw I landed, my first teleportation landed to the rune vault again.
Yeah.
So it was really good that I didn't get silenced again. Not again, but didn't get silenced when stuck there.
In general, yeah.
Because it was not a setup passage, and I think I would have been dead there, to be honest.
Yeah, because pretty much all of your
Well,
power
you
comes from
still have this though.
Yeah, but they can kill me pretty fast in leech form.
Okay, time for Cocytus.
And Cocytus should be pretty easy with ignition and shatter, pretty much.
Yeah. It's just about doing it fast and then using the teleport roulette in the last level. Cocytus can be done extremely fast if you're lucky.
It's also nice to set up passages here because they cannot spawn on top of the water, and you have kind of a better control over them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit weird that they can't spawn in water. That one, maybe there's some lore reason or something like that.
Well, I don't know. I kind of feel it this way that it should be on the ground. So it sounds intuitive to me.
Maybe they're like actual holes in the ground and you just fall into them.
If it's in shallow water, all the water will be transferred to the other side.
Actually, this was a nice teleportation because I already saw the staircase, and my first instinct here was to just go there with legs.
Mm-hmm.
But I was at the very bottom of the level, so I was very likely to get closer to the stair by taking the teleportation trap.
Yeah, that's a good optimization. Well, and you also had pogs before the teleport, or did you not? Okay, training done. Just put on a bunch of random skills. At this point, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yes, still a bit scared of shrikes.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused by my decision, to be honest. Yeah, this was slightly different.
That was that a teleport trap?
Yeah.
Or what was? Yeah.
Literally one tile away.
Well, you also saw the exit, so you wanted to stay around there.
Yeah, so this is a layout where you have to just guess, and it is 1 and 4, unfortunately. And it's not 1 and 4 close to each other. These are just basically 4 different corners of the whole map.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I was very unlucky here.
Yeah, on my Ash run, I had a very lucky run here. I just placed some pogs, teleported to the right hut, got the orb, and teleported out. But you had to take the long way around and visit pretty much all of them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's a case where you don't guess right and then lose a bunch of turns that way.
Yeah. I also only have 4 teleport scrolls, so I really doubt if I have to use them now. But actually, I think it is quite easy decision, because where else do you use them? You literally need to get to the opposite corner of the map. So
yeah, I mean, at least you might want to use them in this, but at least here you know that they would be useful here. So it's better to do it here. That sense,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, and the problem was that they were just placing you on the same middle of the map or something like that, and yeah, just bad teleports in this level.
yeah, and there were a lot of situations where I had to decide if I continue investigating this chamber or not, because I see there is no Anteus, but what if he's here but just one tile away and I just report?
Yeah.
I would feel dumb about it. On the other hand, not seeing Anteus is kind of a skill usage to tell if there is a room or not.
Well, we've already established that guessing correctly is skill. So.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, so that's the second wrong one. I mean, you were here a bit before, but it's fully explored.
No, it's not yet the end.
Oh, right. Well,
but actually, you could tell because of the absence of the Anteus. It's actually cool that do 0 damage to me, because if you do not go into Zig, they just destroy you.
And here we go.
He's such a cute little boy now.
Okay, so that's 3 out of 4. And for the last rune, this.
So yeah, Kokaitis 7 alone took 100 turns or something. So that was quite a lot of time that you spent there.
Yeah, but it was just literally the worst layout you can possibly get.
Sad about not opening the door vault. Yeah, and the damnation balls are always dangerous.
Yeah, it's not like you can really train for those except getting more HP or killing them faster.
Yeah, and with Chei, you can just lose half of your HP with just one movement.
Yeah, I remember this. Just impossible to find the exit.
That was also sneaky stare.
Yeah, Shatter does work. Safer would suffer since he didn't have it on his kick run.
So I think this is a vault, like an ambush vault, and that's why I decided to use magic mapping. because those can be kind of dangerous. Yeah, so
And
here I
yeah,
just teleport and hope for the best. Probably.
Yeah, nothing else to do. Was it your last teleport scroll?
Yeah, it is pretty much the last one.
Yes. Okay, let's. Yep. So let's see. Well, at least you have a bunch of blinking.
Or wait.
No, this is the last one.
I didn't read it yet.
Yeah, so.
But you have 5 blinking scrolls. That's pretty good.
Yeah, there was a time you picked up 2 in Pan as a 2 stack, so that was really good as well. And this teleport is middle of the way there, so yeah, still need to travel and fight.
So here I remember I was kind of scared to fight them. I was afraid that I will just run out of mana if I just stay here and shatter, because I had such experiences before, and I decided to make something dumb.
Even with Meteoran?
Yeah. Well, you are Chei, so you're not really moving that much.
I guess, yeah, that's true.
So I probably wanted to pre-buff here. Yeah, infestation, okay. For the effective mana management, which didn't actually work out. Yeah, so you see I canceled
right, you exit
Lich
form so that you can use it. And here you use Simulacrum?
Yeah. So ideally I want to see the Shrike for the Simulacrum, because those are good.
Yeah, well, I seem to remember thinking that it wasn't correct to just try to summon things. Yeah. Would have been better to just Brilliance and then use the big spells.
I also just, as you saw, I abandoned hope to teleport back with Passage, as I used the last one near the stair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this will take a long time, and you would need to reset it multiple times.
Maybe the correct play was just to, I don't know, set up passages and go further.
Yeah, because
you still have 41 evasion, so those gargoyles might have not done very much to you.
Yeah,
so
but
you
also
had some more time to do stuff.
Yeah, but now the summons are baiting you into not using the spells. But
and Shatter is particularly good here because
I took basically more than 100 damage in one turn because of overconfidence.
And also got more corroded than the usual 8.
Well, hey, now you have Caustic Strike Simulacra.
Yeah. And I just shattered all of them at once. So yeah, this was pretty badly played. At least here I am trying to set up the passages to go back, which is reasonable.
Yeah, and you spend your mana first so that you can regain it when you explore more to the left.
Yeah, and that as well.
Cancel mana pot. I mean, as good a place as any to use it since the game's almost done.
Yeah, Zot is nowhere near as dangerous as this.
Yeah, and that was once again a nice placement of the rune.
Yes, very nice placement. You can skip.
It was actually, it turned out to be quite clean portals wise. I mean, passages wise.
Yeah,
But just my initial plan was, I think it was pretty bad.
Now we're finally getting to the home stretch, which is just so pretty much.
Yeah, and at this point, it's let's see, a game of counting turns and seeing if you can actually manage to beat the record. Yeah, seeing how fast some people have managed to complete the turn count orbrun, and see if you can save enough. So at this point, we still were uncertain since Zod can take a lot of time sometimes. But yeah, it's at this point, yeah, it's pretty close, and there's a possibility of taking the record.
So here I think I knew where the Zod was based on the floor tiles.
Yeah.
Due to the passive mapping. And just a bunch of annoying enemies.
And so for comparison, let's see, Safer had the last rune at 7654 and you at 7819. But Safer had a slow Zot, so it was still possible to take the record.
I think my Zot was also quite slow. Because I remember, especially Zot 1, I even saw the staircase, and I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I probably was going to find another one. Yeah, because I got used to long-lasting passages, and I thought I can do all the stuff I did in Pandemonium.
That's a bit unfortunate.
But actually the correct way to play that was just to go straight up to the stair.
Immediately, yeah.
I think you can even expect a 3 rune turn count to have faster Zod than I had in my game. Yeah, you see, I just basically went all the way back for no reason.
Well, I mean, at least you have Shatter. That's all that counts. Safer didn't. So pretty much that's what a few slouches as well. Okay, yeah, super long that one.
And at the end I still went for the different stair than the initial one.
Well, level 2 of Zot was good.
So Leech Form was probably to prevent the Berserk. Just to not lose turns.
Yeah, imagine this vault with Kiku. Well, wouldn't be very pretty.
Well, at this point it would be fine, because you probably also should have something else other than Necromancy.
Yeah, I mean, you've cleared Extended, so you should have a lot of XP left.
I mean, without Shatter, it would have been kind of a disaster.
Yeah, that's a go back up kind of vault without Shatter.
Oh, so here, do I have teleportation? I think I don't have.
Nope.
But I'm still trying to set up passages on both sides. And here I remember I had situations where you can just walk to the teleport trap.
Do you just not want to shatter through the top part here? I know there are some indestructible walls, but I think it's still possible.
No, I want to shatter. I think I will. Yeah. like here.
Well, he means dig through the inside to the orb instead of going around.
Oh wait, so I decided to.
Yeah, you could just try to do.
I did teleport trap, which is reasonable, and it was quite nice teleport trap.
Yeah, and for the end, you have still maybe like 4 blink scrolls at this point, so you're very safe.
Yeah, and there's a permanent teleport trap here, so you can just take that.
Failure.
Yeah, so 1 in 3 to fail. I'm setting up a passage to. If I fail my teleportation, I had a plan.
Yeah, you can just get another try again by going back and then taking the teleport trap.
Which turned out to not be the greatest idea.
Yeah.
Because of the accuracy of the passage.
I mean, at this point, it's better to take the teleport again, since that was like on the other side. But it doesn't work out, but you still have blinks. Yeah. I mean, blink into the teleport trap again. Yeah. Yeah, you just want to land on the left side of the outside of Zot, because it's just a long way back.
I think my first teleport was good enough to take it.
Yeah, I think, well, it's easy to say that now that you got a bunch of failed teleports, but it would have probably been fine to just walk back after that one and shatter if you needed to.
Well, it would probably take a similar amount of turns.
Right, but you wouldn't have to use the blink scrolls, which can save you turns later. If you get an unfortunate orbrun.
Yeah.
True. Now,
I think that those blinks were mostly just some kind of an emotional decision because I was annoyed by those passages and teleports.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, in terms of turn counts, you just pulled ahead of Safer by 8 turns. I mean, no, didn't pull ahead. You're 8 turns behind on the orb pickup. Yeah, but now just the luck in the orb run, essentially. How well can you do it?
So here I decided to use my last blink scroll just because I didn't want to die.
Yeah, I mean that one I think was pretty reasonable.
It was actually one of the rare situations that can make me dead. Like Quicksilver and Torment. And I think that somewhere here I will try to use that flail with an evocable blink. Because it is nice on the orbrun.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, I guess there's not much remarkable stuff going on other than just normal passage of Galubria and hoping for the best.
Yeah, it is a bit. This part includes a bit of thinking to play, but in terms of watching, yeah, nothing other than just walking happens.
Yeah, of course, it's not easy to play this. I don't think so, but
yeah, the remarkable part is the dungeon generation. that led up to this, because this was a quite fast orbrun. Well, I mean, 400 turns in total. Well, Safer's Chei run was 350, but that's just absolutely insane. So 400 turns.
What are they usually like in a 15 rune turn count for comparison then?
Well, like 500 is like average, probably. That's what the Kiku run had, and yeah, I would assume that's an okay time. But yeah, going into the 400s and below, that's very, very fast.
I actually didn't analyze a lot of games to see what number of turns would be reasonable.
Well, it wouldn't affect your decisions very much at this point.
Yeah, I've analyzed that. I have a list.
Well, it actually can affect my decision, but I mean not the average amount of turns, but here you can.
I guess you might do riskier plays if you already know that you are behind.
Yeah, like you can do just some ridiculous stuff like distortion unveiled, which is on average would be pretty bad, but if you know you are
but if
behind,
the other option is to lose the run, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And at this point, I can just lose 300 turns and I would still be second. So if I'm fighting for the first, I can even afford to do something like distortion build.
I actually want to ask, now that we're this late into the run, is there any reason that you used this particular alt account to play the turn count runs? Since you already have some other ones.
Well, you mean between all my other accounts? Well, not really any reason.
Well, I mean, en passant is a pretty good meme.
Yeah. Well, my first alt account was also quite a nice meme to be on top of the leaderboard. It was kind of like a no scroll mood.
Yeah. Yours was Fog Shafts on D1, and the Fog being the Formicid Abyssal Knight. Yeah, Chaos Knight.
Also, on this account, I did a little bit of the start scamming automatical stuff.
Oh, right. You were talking about that.
So this account includes like 2,500 games. Some of them are just played by the bot. I mean the early part.
Yeah, but the best part, I guess, of this run is that the attempts leading up to this, you didn't use that anyway. So this is pure RNG to get this and just play it out.
Yeah. At the end, I decided that this bot is a bit annoying. I mean, when I have time to invest into the game, I still grind faster manually.
Well, maybe there will be a point if these world records keep improving where you almost have to automate it if you don't want to spend a lot of time. Well, depending on if it's ethical to do so or not, but that's a different question.
Well, I also decided that this is not that great for the community to use.
I also think it's probably better to leave out any tool assistant stuff.
Yeah, but Safer is just too lucky. You can't compete with that. Like, I mean,
I can.
Well, it took you what 150 hours or something like that.
I think it took me like 120 hours.
And that's excluding the bot games, right?
Well, they don't take any time.
No, you can neglect these games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you still did 2,000 of them or something. So I mean, even if they take a few seconds each, that does still.
Well, that's like an hour or two at most. That's
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And
But
so
yeah,
basically,
so
I grinded for in total it was like 2 months. So I started in July and got the run in September.
yeah, there's that Chei altar that started this run on level 3.
Yeah, also we didn't discuss which gods are the most optimal, but I think generally there are just two choices. It's either Chei or Kiku, and I think Kiku is more consistent. And at this stage of the world record, it is probably better to go for Kiku because it's not that optimized yet.
Mm-hmm.
But
You think Kiku would benefit a lot more from lucky finds early on in the dungeon then?
No, the opposite.
yeah. I think Kiku is just good on its own, and for Chei you need to find something.
Yeah, okay.
And if we are talking about the ideal scenario where you find 2 portions of experience and the book that you need, I would say that Chei is much better. But if you take like average,
But you don't
can,
think it's optimized enough to the point where it would be like necessary to have to.
yeah, exactly. You
Yeah.
don't have to over optimize your highest potential
So I
result.
mean, let's say Sapphire beats this by 100 turns or something. I mean, just as a thought experiment. I get. Would you start going with Kiku then?
I would still pick both, but I think Kiko would be better, to be honest.
That took just. That was just shy of 9 hours total gameplay. Well played.
Yep. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
thank you
indeed.
guys, and thank you for joining me. Thanks to everyone who watched this video. Goodbye, I guess.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.